Hello and welcome to the official Nintendo Magazine podcast. I'm your host and editor, Neil Long, and I'm joined deep in the bowels of Future Publishing by Deputy Editor Fred Dutton.
Hello there.
News Editor Simon Bramble.
Hello.
And Games Editor Chris Scullion.
Hello.
Hello. This is our first podcast that will be on iTunes. So if you like what you hear, subscribe. Even if you don't, subscribe, please, because we want to get as high up those podcast charts as possible. So press whatever buttons you need to do to get us up there. I think that's the technical term.
Detailed instructions.
That's what I like to hear. Yeah, absolutely. And this podcast is going to have an actual introduction, unlike the last one. So today we're going to be talking about the issue that's on sale now. As well as answering your reader questions and doing a competition where you can win the new Mario and Sonic game. So stay tuned for that. If you do tune into podcasts, I don't think you do.
Yeah, you do. You sort of.
It just sort of happens.
Yeah, it just
doesn't
happens.
it? Yeah. But first of all, the most important thing in the issue on sale now, of course, is the world's first review of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Which deserves that noise. This podcast is brought to you by Fred Dutton's keyring, which makes the following noises.
Jeez, that was fairly loud.
And so on.
Yes, it's quite loud. Tell us if that's annoying or not in the comments thread. So first of all, we're going to talk about the new Mario game, which is pretty much Nintendo's biggest game of the year, I would say. It's the first side-scrolling platformer for 18 years.
Yep.
Starring Mario, that is.
Yeah,
just
since
to be clear.
Super Mario World.
Yeah, and our resident Mario expert, Chris, you reviewed it. Tell us a bit about it.
It is amazing. That's it. No, it was when Nintendo first announced it, people were saying, "Oh, this is just the DS game again," which is understandable because it looks a lot like it. But it's a completely new game. It's got a completely new 74 levels, 4-player multiplayer. It's just amazing. It's like a proper new Mario game, and it's just great.
And in your review, you mentioned that it's got a lot of elements from Mario 3 and Mario World.
Yeah.
Do you want to expand on that a little?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's basically, it seems like Nintendo have just decided to do a sort of best of Mario and kind of just cram everything they can in this. So you get stuff from Mario 3, you've got the airships at the start of the level, they've got the Koopa Kids, you've got the world maps like in Mario 3, so each world's got its own specific theme maps. There's like a grass world at first, and then a snow level, a desert level, and stuff like that, and stuff later on that I won't spoil. Then obviously they've got Super Mario World stuff as well, like Yoshi's in there. You can do a spin jump if you flick the remote, and if he's Fire Mario, he'll chuck fireballs in different directions and stuff like that. So it's just, they've basically taken all the best bits from Mario 3 and Super Mario World, which are arguably the two best games, and just crammed it all in this one game.
And we've had a chance to play it 4-player a few times. I have to say it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Playing 4 players, you can sort of choose to cooperate, or you can play the coin battle mode.
Oddly, I don't think anyone has ever chosen to cooperate, really, have they?
Yeah.
Which is
it's
probably
basically a free-for-all. It might be more of a reflection on our working relationship.
Yeah,
it
just turns in very spiteful, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's
just indicative of the underlying hatred between us.
And it's good because the thing that worried me, and I think worried a lot of people at first, was when they saw the 4-player stuff, they thought, "Oh, this is going to be a game made for 4 players, and single player is going to be really easy." But it's actually the opposite. It's the hardest Mario game I've played since Mario 3. It's harder than Mario World, I would say, and it's like it's been designed. It seems it's been designed as a single player game, which makes multiplayer even harder. It's just like some of the later levels are just absolutely mental. You just really tiny platforms that are hard enough with one player without 4 people trying to share the one platform. It's like I'm fairly decent at Mario games, but
fairly decent.
I'm alright. But I was
pretty much ninja
and it's like
skills there.
I was playing through this, and it starts kind of easy like the DS one does. So by the end of the third, I think I said in the review, by the end of the third world, I had like 60 odd lives, and you think, oh, this is quite easy again. But if you play it in multiplayer, I think I was on like my third continue by the time I got to the second world. It's just obscenely hard. It's just, and like you get it continues automatically for you, and you hear Mario going, "Here we go again," and all this kind of. It's just. Oh.
If we had to put you on the spot and you had to say in the great pantheon of all Mario 2D platformers, and you're not allowed to back out of this one, where does it lie? Okay, obviously my favourite will always be the first one, but that's a kind of personal. I know that's not the popular opinion. I would think the majority of people would put it behind Mario 3 and Mario World, but ahead of Mario 1, Mario 2 and DS. So it's not as good as Lost Levels?
It's easier than Lost Levels. But, it's
not
up there.
Impossible.
It's not impossible, but it's close. I was absolutely raging by the end. Some levels near the end because it gets obscene.
Yeah, that's a good thing though, because like you say, there was a lot of talk on the internet about it being too easy, despite obviously no one having played it at that point. But
it's not like the internet that though, is it?
Yeah, I mean, the internet's well renowned for its fact-based opinions, isn't it?
Well, that was the thing. Like I said, when I got to the third world, I was on like 60 odd lives, and I stayed on 60 odd lives for the remainder of the game. So by the end of World 8, I was still on like 50, 60 odd lives. So it gets to a stage where it just doesn't. It just gets really hard, and
you know, you're pretty awesome at Mario games. So
stay on.
I know.
Well,
I'm alright.
Obviously, not as good as me, but I think that's fairly clear that it's a pretty mean game, and it's not the washout that people sort of feared it would be.
Yeah, because the DS one was easy. Let's face it.
Yeah.
It was.
I'm actually not that good at Mario games, but I finished that fairly easily.
Yeah, the DS one. I mean, so it's not a case of me thinking the DS one was hard, so therefore this one was hard. The DS one was really easy, but this is really difficult. It's like, especially collecting all the star coins, which there is an actual reason for doing it this time, which I won't reveal. Otherwise, I'll lose my job. But yeah, there's a reason for it this time.
Okay, so that's definitely one to look forward to. It's out on the 20th of November, and we don't want to talk about it too much because you'll have to read some more. Because
in the magazine,
the world first exclusive review is in the issue on sale now. So I would suggest you.
How much is that?
Give us. I believe it's £3.99.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's a great deal.
That's outstanding.
I might buy 3 in case.
Not only that, Christopher. There's also a free beanie hat.
What?
That's right. Yeah, it's got a Nintendo logo.
Stitched
by Charles Martin at the Voice of America.
Well, why are we wasting our time talking here? We should be rushing to our nearest newsagent or supermarket and buying it. Okay,
well, join us after the break once we've run down to the newsagents. But before we end this bit on Mario, Fred's braced himself with his Nintendo noises.
Yeah, our sound review of New Super Mario Brothers Wii is 1-up.
That's not a 1-up.
Is it not? Oh god. What's the 1-up?
The start bit of Mario 1.
No,
that's coin.
That's the fair
1-up.
That's what.
1-up.
It gets 2-up. There we go.
Slick.
That's what I'll get my coat.
Right, while Fred gets his coat, Simon, you played Muramasa, which is a game that a lot of people on our forum are talking about. Some of which would like us to put it on the cover. But
it's a lovely looking game.
Yeah, we had the small matter of a Mario game.
Yeah. But if we put it on the cover, we'd have like the contents section 3/4 of the way through the mag, and then we'd have the review section right at the front, and then you just have to keep on switching through the mag, like looking for different bits, and it would get very frustrating.
See what you've done there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of toing and froing. A lot of toing and froing in the game, you see. It's
using the Muramasa game structure as an analogy for
Simon's analogy gets
Oh,
Game over.
I think it was alright.
Anyway.
Apart from that,
very good.
yeah.
And it is stunningly beautiful to look at. It's done by Vanillaware, who did Odin Sphere on the PS2, which was a kind of Norse mythology type game. It was all very bizarre storyline, but it looked great, and it was a 2D side-scrolling action RPG, but with heavy RPG elements. So you could get right into it if you wanted to, but you could also kind of let rip with loads of like sword play and stuff, and tear the thing to shreds. But Muramasa is it's kind of set in feudal era Japan, so that means lots of woodblock etching style artwork. So it looks very, very distinctive. It plays, on the surface of it, very simply, because it's kind of a 2-button attack game. Basically, you've got the A button, which controls you slashing and stuff, and you sort of move with the analog stick. So it, on the surface of it, it sounds quite sort of shallow, but it actually means you can do quite a bit. Plus, you've got the forge system, which means you can upgrade. You level up with loads of different swords and stuff.
Aren't there like sort of 500 different swords?
There's 108 actually.
Only 108. Okay.
Just 108.
That's lazy.
But that's split. that's split between two. There's essentially two kind of parallel stories to the game. You choose one or two characters, which means you get a totally different plot. The plot's bonkers anyway, so it's neither here nor there whether you pay any attention to it. But you also get a lot of different backgrounds and stuff. And each one's around about 10 hours long. So it's quite good value for money.
Yeah.
And it's just a very distinctive, really enjoyable game. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it's kind of a hard game to review because I loved it. I really enjoyed it. But on the other hand, I knew that there was a glaring fault in how it was all put together. So it's kind of weird reviewing it when you're kind of torn like that.
I've seen a few other magazines and websites quite harsh on it.
Yeah.
But clearly they think that sort of toing and froing is more of a game breaker.
Yeah, I mean it could be at the start, which is a bit of a shame because your introduction to the game is lots of just kind of, it's almost like the early Resident Evil games where you'd be sort of looking for something and then going back and opening a door. That's what these swords do. You travel to one side of the map and you beat a boss and you get this sword, which is essentially a key, and then you go back and break this barrier, and then you can get to the next part of the game, which is over the other side of the world, but that's right at the beginning. So if you haven't got the patience or the kind of the gumption to get to to get through that, then you might be put off.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth sticking through it because the toing and froing kind of is cut back as you get through the game. So,
okay.
Yeah. But it's well worth checking out. I really loved it. Yeah. And I'm still playing it now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we giving that, Fred?
We're giving it. I think we'll give it one of these.
Yeah. Awesome.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either.
It just means it started.
Yeah.
It works.
It's just started.
Well, I'll give it one of them,
right.
shall we?
Yeah, why not?
Right.
Okay. Enough of that.
One up.
Awesome. All sounds copyright Nintendo.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Fred, you've been playing Dragon Quest Wars, which is right up your alley.
It's right up my alley. I mean, I haven't actually been playing an awful lot of games, disgracefully, because no one seems to be sending us any at the minute. But I have been playing Dragon Quest Wars, which is a DSiWare game. It's from the makers of Advance Wars and Fire Emblem,
Which is just a match made in heaven, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm big into anything made by Intelligent Systems, who are obviously a Nintendo subsidiary, and they've teamed up with Square Enix and the Dragon Quest lot, which is not up my alley particularly, but I gave it a go anyway, and it's £4.
Dragon Quest is not normally your alley.
Well, no, it's all that.
Can we stop talking about Fred's alley? Something slightly obscene about it.
Yeah, enough of my alley. No, Dragon Quest is not really my thing, but Dragon Quest Wars is my thing because it's just a neat little download. I don't know, £4 or £5 or something. And if you like your little turn-based strategy games,
how big is it? How substantial is it?
It's not huge. It's like a lot of. It's all like online, so a lot of the fun, you're going to be playing with crazy strategy sort of super beings over in Japan, probably. But you can play with me, and I'm not one of those people. Actually, no, I am one of those people.
Yeah. Didn't you just do
I just
insane level on Fire Emblem or something?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty good. So come and get it. Yeah, absolutely. No, but Dragon Quest Wars, there's not been a massive amount on DSiRo recently, and this is really good. So that's my sort of pick of the stuff that I've been playing, which is new of late.
Yeah.
It's good. But niche.
What sound are we giving that?
I don't think there's a sound on there that would adequately sum up my feelings towards
What Mario
Dragon Quest
sound
Wars.
says strategy?
In Fred's Big Alley.
Lovely.
Is that a joke dead yet, do you think, or not?
I don't know.
Should we keep going with that?
Let us know if that's really annoying or not. Usually I would talk about the new games I've been playing for the current issue. On sale now.
No one's sent us any yet, so...
Yeah, I didn't have anything to play this month. After reading Chris's review of Mario, I went back to Galaxy and tried to sweep up the last few stars, which is really hard. And I've also been playing Mega Man 9, but I've literally nothing new to say about those games.
Obviously.
It's very difficult, and I've kind of said what I wanted to say in my blog a while back, so I'm going to move swiftly on.
But generally there's been a lot of playing of old games in the office.
There has, yeah.
In anticipation for the massive sort of games rush which is impending.
It's literally weeks away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me of about a week ago, I was really into Link's Awakening, which I'm still only 3/4 of the way through.
What, are you about 15 years late on that one now?
Yep, just the 15 years.
I'm sorry, but that's worthy of a... one of them.
It is, yeah. Sorry about that. But that's kind of in anticipation for Spirit Tracks, which is going to be in O&M 50, which will be out
20th of
when's that
November.
out? 20th of November,
Yep.
which seems like a long way away.
Still a reasonable $3.99.
I believe so,
Which
yes.
is quite good.
Yeah.
See, most other magazines would charge a premium on top of that for such high quality journalism.
They would, yeah.
But we're just like, nah.
We're kind of generous like that. Yeah.
Credit crunch? Ha.
We laugh in the face of credit being crushed.
We laugh in the face of making a profit.
It's like when the Beano went up from 40p to like 60p.
Yeah.
I was distraught.
That would have been
Scoundrels.
like the price of a whole Mars bar at the time, wouldn't it? That would have been pretty steep rise.
Couple of Freddos.
Yes, Fred was
So, yeah, I mean, we're pretty much a bargain.
This is starting to sound like a recording of Last of the Summer Wine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
back to
Anyway, Link's Awakening, you're still playing that, have you?
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of. When I get the chance, it's getting really hard now. So I'm kind of getting a bit stuck.
Have you played Phantom Hourglass yet? Are you gonna play that in anticipation?
Give him,
Yeah,
give him
I
12
finished
years.
that
and we'll get round to that.
I finished that a couple of months ago, actually.
okay.
Really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to Spirit Tracks. I think I'm going to claim that as
I can't wait for that.
as the review. We're hopefully getting hold of that this week,
Yeah.
which is good news. Other games that have been played of late, Tony Hawk Ride. Chris, you played that one.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
I'm getting my game over sound effect ready.
I don't know if it's early days or not. If I can say
It's
it's
out
early
next
days
month.
because it's
It's not early
coming
days.
soon. Yeah. So it was only like kind of preview we played, but I'm not entirely convinced yet. Obviously, it comes with this new skateboard peripheral, which is shaped like a skateboard, amazingly.
Oddly.
And
Has it got wheels on it?
no, it's just like you stand on it and it wobbles about. So it's like a, you know, those Weeble like guys that wobble about. It's like that, but
Except you do fall down.
Yeah, you do. I saw a guy falling over trying to play it. So yeah,
it's
it's
sort of
got,
like as if you got your balance board and put it on top of like a shoe, so
Yeah.
it's not lying
Yeah.
level.
yeah, so it's kind of so you stand on this and it's got sensors to the side and sensors at the front and back. And the claim was that the sensors can sense up to around about waist height. So if you jump in the air, you can put your hand down and it'll count as a grab, like grabbing the board and stuff like that. I just couldn't get it to work. And I don't know if it's a case of me being bad at it. I need to have a bit more time with it before I can tell. But
It's a possibility, Chris.
it's possible. But I'm not the most athletic man in the world. But I don't know. It's just, it seems to me like it could have been done on a balance board. and I don't know. I'm not fully impressed yet.
What about the game itself? Is it going anywhere near? Is it? Is it just?
Again, I can't tell because there's two different. Well, there's a few different control methods, all using this board, but there's different sensitivities. So there's one where it's pretty much on rails, and you literally just lean left and right to choose different paths to go down, and to spin the board when you jump in there, and that's pretty basic. But then there's like a hypersensitive mode where even the slightest kind of tilt left or right will just send you flying. And you're like, and I know we don't usually argue that when people say Guitar Hero, why not just learn real guitar and all that? But this is so close to riding an actual skateboard, you do think, well, come on,
ride a skateboard.
And especially if you're going to fall off this one as well, then
and you're probably going to add insult to injury by destroying a TV as well when you do it, rather than just cutting your knee on a pavement.
That'd be a pretty spectacular fall.
That's what I'd probably be doing.
I had the unusual experience of playing at E3 in the same room as Vern Troyer of
Mini-Me fame.
He did have a bit of trouble. It seemed to be quite difficult for a man of his stature. I don't know if they're going to put in a special mode for people of that
This is
height.
very dangerous ground, so we should probably move on.
I think that's okay.
that's fair. People have reduced height.
Reduced.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you look like he was enjoying it? I mean,
Yeah, he said it was awesome,
was
but
into
I'm not entirely convinced.
was he possibly paid to be there?
Possibly, yeah. And I've also been paid to bring that up.
Okay.
So £50 from Activision, please.
Web of
in the
corruption.
Post. Yeah.
Do we think people who've got themselves a balance board and a full Guitar Hero kit and they've gone out and bought the DJ Hero decks and whatnot are going to want yet another piece of really expensive plastic?
it depends on how insane they are.
Yeah.
I wouldn't personally, but
Yeah. You've got to be pretty well off to afford all this stuff.
It's about
that's
100
the
quid,
thing,
isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I need to check how much Ride is, but yeah, DJ Hero is about 100. Guitar Hero is 70. That's not including drums and stuff like that. Obviously, your balance board's about 70. It's just mental. There's no need for it, and they could have easily just brought out. Well, I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for the long-time Tony Hawk fans who've learned all these combos and stuff over the years, and they're like demons with control pads, and suddenly they just go, nah.
Yeah, I used to absolutely love Tony Hawk's 2 on the PlayStation 1. It's just an amazing game.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Especially in multiplayer, but I don't know, those days are over.
Yeah, looks like it.
So on that depressing note, I mean, obviously we've been quite down on that game there, but it's too early to judge it properly. We haven't had the final review code in.
Yeah, that was based on like 15, 20 minutes
code,
of messing about with it. Not
so we'll see how it turns out. Moving on, Simon, another controversial topic.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, that's proved pretty divisive on our forums. I mean, a lot of people have said that, or one person in particular, Bowie the Hero here.
Bowie the Hero?
Bowie the Hero has called this...
That's right, Bowie.
Is that David?
Or Zowie?
The Hero.
So. Yeah. All right.
Has called this a heinous piece of journalism, because we've reviewed it in this issue, and I've reviewed it in this issue, and I gave it a decent score, but not quite the stellar score that previous Kingdom Hearts have got. I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. I really enjoy the series, and they work really, really well on the two PlayStation or the PlayStation 2. But this one is a reduced kind of it's being cut down and put into the DS and stuff, and technically it's pretty good. It's quite impressive what they've done. It looks great, and there's an extensive control system and battle system and all that sort of stuff. But there's an awful story, which is actually it serves the series well, because it fills in quite a lot of holes and gaps and stuff between the first game and the second game. But it's delivered in such a toe curling sub-emo way that even to me, a fan of the series, it was a chore getting through it.
Yeah.
The dialogue is just awful.
Yeah.
It's-
I mean, we didn't give it like 4% or anything.
No, of course, no. Don't get me wrong.
Decent score.
This is the only reason this particularly stands out is because the rest of the game is actually pretty good, but the things it does badly really glare.
Yeah. So I mean, a game that gets that sort of score.
I'm not quite sure why.
High 60s.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm not quite sure why it's getting quite the.
Yeah.
People jumping up and down about it. It's still a decent score. You should still play it. But
yeah, I mean, a game who gets 69% is
Spoilers.
Oops.
If I got that in my A-level maths exam, I'd be pretty thrilled.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's almost American.
It goes without saying that fans of the series, if you love the series, by all means get it.
Yeah, because it does fill in a lot of gaps.
But be warned.
It
may not be as good as
it
you
plays
think.
very differently to.
There's so
the PlayStation
many
2 versions.
really, really good RPGs.
Yeah,
on DS,
and
this just
this
isn't as good.
isn't nearly as engaging as a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I mean, it pales in comparison to Bowser's Inside
Yeah, definitely.
Story.
Yeah, that was funny and it was sparky, and even though it did stuff which had been done in Partners in Time, it expanded on it a little bit and delivered it in such a fresh and fun way that it was really enjoyable to play through. And Kingdom Hearts wasn't.
Yeah, so that's that done. Are we doing a noise for that, or is it just getting too annoying?
It doesn't need.
I don't think it needs a
Doesn't need a
noise.
noise.
I think
Let's
just
not make any more
let
controversy.
Simon's words
Yeah,
speak for themselves.
Respectful silence.
absolutely. Fred, you've been playing the new Resident Evil shooter, Dark Side Chronicles. No good?
I don't know. I thought it was. I played through about 3 stages of it,
Yeah.
and I just fairly recently before that been playing Dead Space.
I was going to say, that must have been
and
a
just
bit
they
of a come
don't
down after that.
compare.
Yeah.
I mean,
If you're going to buy one,
get Dead Space, get House of the Dead.
yeah.
It was. I mean, I didn't actually play the Umbrella Chronicles, so I can't really speak with much authority on that. But it was just dull. It was. I mean, it looked pretty. They've done a great job with the visuals, but it was one of the most boring boss fights I've ever played in it. I mean, it was just went on for days, absolutely days, and just terrible dialogue. It's sort of.
But Resident Evil's
some,
always had terrible dialogue.
Yeah, it has, but had the gameplay to back it up. It doesn't matter that there was some cheesy lines in it, but it's just dull. It was really dull, and it's taken some pretty weird liberties with the sort of the storyline as well.
Yeah, there was a bit sort of right at the start where you were sort of saying, "Hang on a minute, how did that happen?"
Exactly. If you know your Resident Evil 2, you'll get a bit
yeah.
upset about how they're sort of fiddling with the timeline there.
Yeah, that annoyed me a bit.
And like I say, we haven't played all of it, but what I've seen of it, I was nodding off. I really was.
Okay.
But it does look nice, and that's what I've got to say about it, really.
Okay, well, that review's going to be in the issue.
This will be in issue 15.
The one that's not on sale now.
It'll be in the next one.
It'll be in the next one. Okay, and Chris's favourite game at the moment, apart from Mario, is Maestro Jump in Music.
Yeah.
Which is pretty bizarre.
It's bizarre, but I'm loving it. It's like the developer came in with it a couple of months ago, and he said, "The wee French guy." It wasn't me, but he was French, and he was a guy. And he said, "Oh, I've got this music game," and we get a load.
This is a DS game.
Yeah, DS game. We get a load of developers coming in with games that you've never heard of, and 99 times out of 100 they're absolute garbage, and they're just shovelware rubbish. And you're like, oh, here we go. So it said, okay, they said we want to come in and show you this game called Maestro Jump in Music, and instantly think, oh.
Anything with an exclamation mark in the middle of the title.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, Maestro Jump in Music. Oh, okay, so I was just preparing for a morning of complete misery with this guy coming in. And didn't help that when he came in with the DS, he had an amp with him as well that he was going to plug.
Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. So he said, "I'll plug a DS into the amp." I was like, "Oh,
that was hilarious."
Pretty courageous man.
He's always a brave man.
The office,
I don't know if he was
straight into the shark pit.
Yeah,
with his amp.
So he plugs the DS into the amp, and I'm like, God, this is going to be ridiculous. And he started showing me the game, and the game is ace. It's like it's basically this. It's a rhythm action platformer. Where you play this wee bird called Presto, who runs along a wire, and as he runs along the wire, each wire kind of glows, and you've got to strum the wire at the right point to make a note sound out. And as he does this, you've got to make him collect other notes and tap enemies as they go by and rub other strings and stuff like that. And if you do it all properly, it makes a song. And there's like classical music in it and stuff, like the theme from Fame and Our House by Madness. It's just the most weird
I have
mix.
to say, we were all sat in the office while he was showing that off to you, just like giggling and doing really badly at hiding the fact that we were giggling at this.
It's because it wasn't just, it was at the start that was okay, that was fair enough. It was, he was playing it really loud and everyone was going, what's going on? Why is the theme from Fame blaring out? But it's the fact that he then said, oh yeah, there is also this mode where you can sing into the DS. And okay, well, I don't,
superb accent.
Thanks. I said, okay, so I want to make it clear you don't have to sing into the DS, but he decided to show me this feature anyway. And yeah,
that was
he had a nice set of pipes, to be fair.
He had a good voice on it, but he was playing like O Sole Mio, and he's going, yeah, and everyone in the office was just looking at this guy saying, what? So, yeah, fair play to him, but the fact is,
he's done a good job there.
Yeah, but the game is really impressive. It's my favourite game at the moment. I'm playing all the time.
It probably won't get a big marketing push and whatnot, so it's probably one to sort of watch out for, and it's a good one to sort of champion if you're into your interesting sort of, it's going to be like the next Soul Bubbles, basically. Like, a game is absolutely amazing, but nobody's going to buy it, which is a shame. Well, I'm assuming. But I would have thought. I would, sad not
as
once they've read your review, they'll be like,
sad as it is. I'm assuming they're not going to be rushing to pre-order this game or anything like that. It's like, but it's great. I really like it.
Yeah, get behind it.
Yeah.
Right. Sort of a low light of the issue on sale now is a game called Sexy Poker.
Hey.
So it does half the job in the fact that it is a game of poker. Whether you call it sexy, I don't know.
I don't know.
Depends what floats your boat.
Yeah.
But,
I loved it.
You were getting really frustrated with it. You were hurling obscenities at
Right, let me. No.
Yeah, I think we'll just leave it there. All you need to know is it's called Sexy Poker.
It's basically
you don't need to download it.
It's basically false advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's kind of games we're playing and games that are in the issue on sale now. Also in the issue on sale now, as a way of celebrating our world exclusive Mario review, we've done a little retrospective of the sort of evolution of 2D platformers since right back to Donkey Kong to today, what we have with New Super Mario Brothers Wii. So I just wanted to quickly go around the table and ask you all what your sort of favourite 2D platformers are, and if you've got a sort of random cult classic that you want to talk about. Who wants to go first?
Donald Duck, Deep Duck Trouble.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Deep Duck Trouble.
Yeah.
Well,
say that really quickly a bunch of times, and you will be in deep trouble.
Well, it follows on from DuckTales, which we were talking about last podcast.
We try and mention DuckTales as many times as possible.
Well, I remember it because my best mate bought a Master System 2, and he got that with it. And I remember having been reared in a diet of NES games and Spectrum 48K games, going around to his house and seeing that being played. That was awesome. It was almost like a step from the 2D to 3D that you got with the N64 and Mario and all that business. That's how significant it was for me. That was brilliant.
That's pretty cool.
I still didn't get a real console for about another 2 years after that. But
is this your selfish friend that we talked
No,
about?
different guy.
Different one.
This guy actually let me play on this one.
Good lad.
Yeah,
nice guy.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of that. There was a Donald Duck game on the Mega Drive. What was that called?
Quackshot.
Quackshot. Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That was it.
Where he's like exploring the world.
Yeah.
Shooting
with
quacks,
plungers.
whatever.
Shot plungers.
Whatever that involves. Yeah, shooting plungers. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I wouldn't be aware of that game because I only had a SNES.
Look at you.
So what was your SNES era pick or NES?
Well, I was big into my 2D platformers back in the day. A lot of sort of Amiga games, Rick Dangerous.
Nice.
Zool, yeah.
Zool.
Yeah.
Zool.
What was that one? Super Frog?
Yeah.
Super Frog.
Sponsored by Lucozade.
I don't know about that one.
There are other energy drinks are available.
Yeah.
The little Eggman, Desert Island Dizzy, was that the other Eggman?
Treasure
Yeah.
Island
I used
Dizzy,
to
yeah.
love that.
Dizzy, yeah.
And then, Metroid, big Metroid fan. And
Tiny.
watching the Charlie Brooker's Games Wipe on the BBC iPlayer the other day, and he was doing a bit about 2D platformers, and he flashed up this little clip of Tiny Toons
Adventures.
Tiny Toon Adventures. What's the sub?
Buster
Buster Busts Loose, and it was just like I completely forgotten about it, but that game was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
yeah,
Chris, you're going to come up with something mental. That was
No,
out
I'm going to be quite.
only in Japan
tame it.
on the NES.
No.
or something.
It was Mega Drive. It's not a Disney one. It was World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck.
Yeah.
It was Ace because you had to. I keep saying Ace, but it was. It was basically Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck both walking through the level, and they had to help each other out. So one would bounce off the other one to get to a high ledge, and then put down a rope to make him.
That's pretty cool.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, it was kind of like the first kind of co-op platform game because two people could play it, and it's kind of precursor to New Super Mario Brothers Wii. I'm sure that's where Miyamoto got his inspiration.
Linking seamlessly to New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
but obviously talking a lot about Disney games, and there's a whole lot more Disney chat to come.
Yeah.
We won't say too much about that, will we, just yet?
No, we can't say too much about it. Although, actually, about 2 hours ago, I did tweet about what
cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, that cat is so far away from the bag that it's
just right in the bag.
in another time zone.
I wish you were here, bag.
So yeah, basically in issue 50, which is going to be very special for many other reasons that we'll probably talk about in the next podcast. We've got an interview with Warren Spector and some more exclusive news on Epic Mickey, which looks pretty amazing.
Awesome.
If it lives up to the concept art that we've already seen, it's going to be really, really cool. But that's next month. I suggest you buy issue 49.
Buy 49 first.
Yeah.
Right, 49's good.
Yeah.
Get your beanie hat in.
Get your hat.
Issue 49 is like the alien of the series, and issue 50 is going to be like the aliens of the series.
That's right,
series.
yeah.
But that's not to say that 51's going to be Alien 3.
Yeah.
With really bad CGI all the way through.
Well,
It's going to be quite good.
we'll do our best not to make it Alien 3.
Let's make it Terminator 2.
Yeah. Let's just...
Piranha 2, possibly.
Troll 2. I watched that last night. Good film. Anyway.
Troll 2. Google that one.
Check it out.
Yeah. So we're going to move on from this nonsense and answer some of your reader questions. Again, as with the last podcast, I believe these are all real names. So Metroid Azura.
Junior.
Metroid Azura of Northampton.
He or she was just wondering...
Just looked at the next name on the list.
Yeah, I've scribbled that one out.
Oh.
We're not doing that one.
Okay.
I was just wondering if you know what game Charles Martinet was talking about in his tweet stating he's working on a new Mario game. No, we don't. So that's that question back.
We know nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
We would
I can't
speculate
imagine
that...
I can't imagine another...
Is it not just Galaxy 2?
Let's not go crazy. We've just got New Super Mario Bros. Wii for this Christmas. Galaxy 2 will appear at some point next year.
I mean,
I can't imagine Nintendo are that far into doing another fully blown Mario game. It might be
a
new Mario Party or something.
Yeah, some sort of sport. I mean, it's not madness. I can't believe the hype this tweet's been getting. It's like as if it's big news that there's another game coming out that's got Mario in it. It's like, come on. It's pretty obvious.
A Mario game is pretty much continuously in development.
There are always at least 73 Mario
one.
games in development at any one time.
Yeah.
Did he insist that it was a Mario game? Could it possibly be Wario's Woods 2 or something along those lines?
Hopefully.
Let's hope so.
Anyway.
Yeah, so
we
moving on.
that.
Charlie Atwater which is
That's a ridiculous name.
Yeah, that's
Can't
a
be
crazy
real.
avatar. What are you talking about, Charlie?
Poor Chuck.
You're bonkers.
Come on, Chuck.
Hatters to his mates.
Yeah.
The Warpmeister.
The @Meister says, do you think the Guitar Hero, Pokemon and Final Fantasy franchises are being overused and are getting boring? I personally would say, yeah.
I think the first two are.
To be frank.
The Final Fantasy ones are going in all sorts of weird directions at the moment. You've got strategy games and that weird tower defense thing. You know, the My Life as a Dark Lord business. But I think they're doing all right. I mean, there are a lot of by the numbers RPGs coming out under the Final Fantasy moniker. But
Yeah.
I think Pokemon's doing alright as well. Like, I know a lot of people have got that aren't too keen on Pokemon, but Mystery Dungeon's a pretty solid like dungeon crawling game, and Pokemon Ranger was always okay, and this new Pikachu one could be interesting.
Yeah, the Platinum, which came out this year, was pretty much the definitive Pokemon game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's if you want a Pokemon game, that's the one to
That's
get.
the one.
Where you go from there in terms of a new game, I don't know.
723
No,
Pokemon.
Heart
Yeah.
Gold and Soul Silver.
I'm sure it's being worked on, and maybe we'll see an amazing sort of overhaul of the series at some point in the future. I don't know.
Well, if we do, it's going to be a long, because we've still got Heart Gold and Soul Silver next year, so we've got to go through all that first.
Yeah,
you
make it sound like a
no,
real
but I mean,
deal.
No, but I mean, you know, we're going to be waiting months and months for that to come out. That'll finally come out.
Yeah,
I'm more interested in Pokemon Rumble on WiiWare because it looks like a proper like fighting game with Pokemon in it.
Yeah.
Sold.
That'll
do me.
And Guitar Hero, I'm kind of, you know, I don't know where you go with that.
yeah,
You go to DJ Hero.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the answer.
But I mean, it's
really.
still all these games still sell well, and as long as they sell well, you keep going to get more of them. So
Yeah,
but it would be nice to see something different. But you know, where else is Guitar Hero going to go now? Other than more like band specific discs.
yeah. I mean,
Real strings.
that's not to say it's no longer fun. It obviously is.
Yeah.
It's just, where do you go with that?
Keyboard Hero.
Yeah,
Bust out the keyboard.
Harp Hero. Or something, I don't know.
Mario Keyring Hero.
Ah,
There you go.
it's the equivalent of Dragon Force.
Take notes, Activision.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, and the final question
Yeah,
from Reese Clarihue.
that's a pretty cool name, actually.
That is.
Clarihue.
Well done on that.
Well done, Reese.
What is everyone's problem with Shadow the Hedgehog? Even if his game sucked, why does everyone still hate him? Well, I have to say, I really couldn't care less about Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I think we're deferring this to Scullion because I think
Yeah, but he just pops up in letters every month. Can we ban that from now on?
Fair enough. I just think he's the low point in the Sonic
that's
series.
a pretty low point.
Because it was like they just thought. I mean, I'd love most Sonic games, even ones that people don't like Heroes and stuff like that. But this was just like Sonic in general is annoying because he tries to be cool and like you can tell he's trying to be like, "Hey kids" and all that kind of stuff. And Shadow was just even worse, like trying to have a bad attitude and all this. He says "damn" a lot. And you're like, oh my god, he's got a motorbike, he's got guns.
Yeah.
Who would play Shadow the Hedgehog? Shadow the Hedgehog
I
in a
would.
movie of his own life. With, like Vin Diesel, or
Vin Diesel is Shadow the Hedgehog.
I'd like to see Pee Wee Herman take that one.
Rick Moranis, maybe.
Yeah.
Vern Troyer, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Vern.
As long as he doesn't
Sign
have to
up.
ride a skateboard.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's this month's podcast questions answered. If you have any more, please do send them in to onm@futurenet.com with the subject heading podcast question. And now we're going to move on to the competition. Last month's question was, how many Scottish teams will be in Pro Evolution Soccer 2010 on the Wii? We got loads of entries, but only one person got it right because it was, perhaps deliberately, perhaps by mistake, a trick question. Loads of people said 4, but the actual answer is 5 because it's Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, Hearts, and Scotland, of course.
Yay! See?
Yeah. Yeah.
I meant that.
And
I meant to do the other one. Sorry.
it's not going well, is it?
Nah, it's not going well.
Maybe we should. Well, I've always wanted to employ the Westwood bomb. Maybe
I
we
thought
should.
you were going to bring it this week.
No, but I couldn't sort it
Bring the
out.
bomb.
Maybe we'll do that in the next.
Can't
podcast.
we edit it in now?
Maybe we should. We'll leave a pause here.
Pause.
There you go. That was the
Awesome.
Westwood bomb.
Yeah. So the winner was Brian Murdoch from South Africa, which is pretty cool.
Admirable, yeah.
Hello, South Africa. That's miles away.
Literally miles.
Literally miles, more than one.
It's like zone 7 on the tube, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I believe so. It's just past Brixton.
I feel sorry for the future publishing posting chaps that'll have to get the airmail winging out.
So, Brian, you win. God, what did we give away?
It was Il2 Stovnovic on DS.
Oh yeah.
Pez USB stick.
Yeah, a USB stick shaped as a tiger. And
and World Snooker, which
World
may not
Snooker.
work in the South Africa region.
yeah,
And a letter of apology, probably, as well. We'll throw it
Yeah.
for free.
yeah. Sorry in general. So this month's prize is pretty cool, actually. It's Mario and Sonic, one DS copy and one Wii copy. Obviously, the new Mario and Sonic game. The question is, Vancouver is hosting the 2010 Winter Olympics, and obviously London is doing 2012. But who's hosting the 2014 Winter Olympics?
Stevenage.
I don't know.
Stevenage.
I think they're in the running with Runcorn
And Welland Garden City,
and
perhaps.
Welland Garden City. Yeah, basically all the new towns.
Milton Keynes bowed out at the early stage. Couldn't raise the fund.
Can hack it.
Yeah,
Not enough
so-
snow.
Definitely not in Scotland either, is it, Chris?
They wouldn't last a minute in Dunfermline.
See, Bracknell have got a good dry slope at the
Really?
John Knight Leisure Centre, so
Yeah, just do it there.
just do it there.
Yeah.
You open for
It's
3
fair.
years pass or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could be bothered to Google that, send us the answer to onm@futurenet.com. The subject heading podcast 2 competition. So we're going to wrap it up having rambled on for a good 40 minutes now.
What about our jingle?
Yeah, the jingle,
Oh, right, yeah, the jingle,
at the
yeah.
start was by Andy Harmon, so thank you very much, Andy. But we are not stopping there because we want more jingles. So
Yeah.
once again, if you can, you know the kind of standard now. So email.
Extremely high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Word is
DJ
there's
Shadow
a,
stuff.
there's an offer out from Activision for a spot on DJ Hero, isn't there?
Yeah, so
I
get
believe
in
so.
touch, Andy, and
Yeah.
we'll pass you on. So yeah, basically want more jingles. We should have said last time we don't want anything like copyright material on it because we can't use it.
Mm.
So we got a few ones with loads of Mario tunes and all that on it, and even
Like
though,
the ones we've just been playing.
yeah, even though we could do it, yeah, but we're I don't know.
All sound effects copyright Nintendo.
All rights
Thank you.
reserved. Don't sue. So yeah, basically send us more at onm@futurenet.com with the subject podcast jingle. Even
Absolutely.
if you're just playing it on a xylophone, job done.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be ace.
That'd be
In
pretty
fact,
cool.
yeah, do that.
If-
Anyone with Mario Paint,
Yeah, Mario
use the
Paint.
Mario Paint composer
I'll-
and make us a jingle.
I'd particularly like to see someone throw down some lyrics, potentially compose a rap about O&M.
Yeah.
Ah,
That would be pretty cool.
just basically send us anything in an audio format, not necessarily
Yeah.
a jingle, just stuff that we can use in this podcast.
Yeah,
If you've got some sort of rant that you want to share with the world, do it, and
Yeah.
we'll give it air on iTunes.
that's right. Yeah. So brilliantly, having mentioned iTunes there. If you've enjoyed listening to us ramble on, please do subscribe on iTunes because we want to get as high up that podcast chart as possible, and beat our friends at Official PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean,
because
it's only for that.
yeah,
Surely. It's worth
just
it
for
on
bragging
subscribe.
rights.
Yeah.
Because I think there was somewhere in the top 30 of all UK podcasts, which is pretty cool.
What's number one?
Probably Stephen Fry. I don't know.
Oh, we can take him, surely.
Yeah.
It used to be Russell Brand
Did it?
till back in the day.
I
We
see.
should probably phone up an old person and swag him
Yeah.
on.
What if we interviewed Stephen Fry and Russell Brand in the next one? We're pretty much guaranteed to
Oh,
be top then, aren't we?
you're writing checks. I'm not sure we can cash them.
Yeah, yeah. So stay tuned. That definitely won't happen. Just to wrap things up, issue 49 is on sale now. It's got a free beanie hat with it. It's got the world exclusive first new Super Mario Brothers Wii review in it, and loads of other stuff which we've just talked about.
There's an awesome Nintendo Academy feature in there where we rewrite the science books. So
that's right.
Check it out.
Yeah, we're basically going to invent a new national curriculum whereby
you play video games.
Video games get played at school legitimately. So
it's exciting times.
Yeah,
sounds good.
That's another thing that definitely won't happen. In the meantime, keep looking at our website, officialnintendomagazine.co.uk. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com @ONM_UK, and we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/official Nintendo Magazine. Thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you next month. Cheers.
There we go.